Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We'd love to talk to you. Attorney Milly Athanason coming up here in just one moment, and then after that, we've got Mark Hay lined up as well, financial advisor, expert contributor on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Well, we like to feature our listings. It's a strategy that works. We help sellers sell faster for more money, and we've got a property here at 4501 Garnett Drive. This one is in Gulf Harbors. We've got a property that is waterfront, bay access. Bring your boat and all of your jet skis and toys. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2215 square feet, 4501 Garnett Drive in Newport Richey. It's on the canal with bay access out into the Gulf of Mexico. You have a large family room, 15 by 30 foot family room, beautiful courtyard, grand entry with an open floor plan, cathedral ceiling, fireplace in the great room, great opportunity. Now, the community also has waterfront clubhouse, heated pool, tennis courts, and a private community boat ramp. Plenty of parking as well. Check out 4501 Garnett Drive, Newport Richey, and you can see all of our real estate listings at platinumcoastalelite.com. Check out platinumcoastalelite.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Attorney Milly Athanason back on the show. And Milly, I love it when you give us these updates. You got a new law that rolled out, and tell us about it.
Yeah, there's a few new laws that rolled out on October 1st. One of them being for the death penalty. It's now being extended for those that are convicted of sexual battery involving minor children. And basically, 8 out of 12 jurors have to recommend the death penalty to the judge, and then the judge makes, of course, the final decision. But that's something that's new because previously anybody convicted of the charge of rape, unless there was a murder accompanied with the rape, really wasn't, the death penalty wasn't something that was on the table. So now they've put it on the table. Governor DeSantis has said that, you know, he feels that heinous crimes deserve the worst punishment.
Yeah, and our friend of the show, Representative Bernie Jacques, is one, I believe, that penned that legislation. So that's definitely a good one. Hey, harsher criminals and or penalties for criminals that are messing with children. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, it really does. It's about time that it really got on the books. And another thing that the governor signed into law on October 1st was upgrading penalties for makers, manufacturers, and distributors of fentanyl, especially if they sell it to children. They've made rainbow fentanyl is now the possession or sale or manufacture of it is now a first-degree felony. So it's punishable by 25 years and up to $1 million. So wow. They're taking a very harsh stand on that because fentanyl has been getting into the hands of children. They're selling it in the schools, and some of this stuff, as you know, it's killing people left and right.
Yeah, the CCP's behind it. I believe they're funneling it through the southern border, but fentanyl, and to make it appear as colored, like rainbow, like Skittles or something, like, you know, that to me is, I think that is what is warranting these enhanced penalties, and absolutely, again, agree with that one.
Oh yeah, yes. And then another thing they did that also involves children is that if you have or are using or possessing a gun while you're involved in human trafficking, they've also upgraded the penalties for that. And in addition, they've created the right to file a civil suit. If you're a victim of human trafficking, you can come out and file a circuit civil action or a civil lawsuit. It's not just a criminal offense anymore. So they allow you to go after these people for damages.
Good.
And so you can file a suit against the tortfeasor, and they can even seize the tortfeasor's property, in other words, the property of the trafficker to be used to pay restitution to these victims.
Wow.
So, I mean, they've really taken it up a notch. They've made it a much more serious crime, and they're really trying to allow all of these victims that have survived this heinous event to go after their perpetrators.
Yeah, I love that one. So human trafficking involved with a gun, civil suits can now be filed on behalf of the victims and the victims' families. I'm sure And that is man, I love the stance that our state legislature is taking with these different types of changes in these laws.
Oh, no, I've always been an advocate for children, so I'm very happy about these changes because, we need to allow children to be children.
Absolutely.
And not have to worry about these heinous things being done to them. Something else that's on the books, and I don't know, but I'm not sure that a lot of people are aware of this, but they need to be. Two little things. Number one, it's now a first-degree misdemeanor for streaking, if you will. They're calling it the anti-streaking statute. So if you go out to normally what would be considered a restricted public area, such as the football field, you go to the Bucs game and you decide to go out in the field and shoot a Mooney there, you can be fined up to $2,500 and a year in jail. And this would also be true at musical concerts. So you know how sometimes people go to different venues and they do silly things because they're having a lot of fun and probably drinking too much. It can now have some penalties involved in that. So if you're going to be doing that, keep your clothes on. And it also is now a misdemeanor if you touch one of these people. So you know how sometimes you go to these concerts and you reach out. It's not just a handshake, but if you're reaching out and you get on the stage and you're trying to kiss them or something like that, that can also be a punishable event.
Wow.
So This is now to protect both celebrities and athletes while they're playing the game, and also to allow other people to enjoy the venue and enjoy the game or the concert. So that's something that's out there. And then, I know a lot of your clientele probably have golf carts, and a lot of people have been using golf carts to let's say, go to Publix or what have you, because it's easier than trying to fight traffic in your automobile. And a lot of times parents will let their kids operate the golf carts. And there's now a law in the books that's illegal, that a child would either need to have a learner's permit or an actual driver's license in order to be able to use a golf cart or drive a golf cart on public roads.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
I can see that. So probably some incidents, probably some accidents that have happened, and, probably even major injuries.
Absolutely. And, because people think, a golf cart doesn't go that fast. So, what's the problem if my child drives it? Well, unfortunately, this is not an opportunity for parents to give free driving lessons to their children on these roads. So I point that out because some of these smaller or lesser-known laws don't get out there, and then something happens, and they're like, well, I didn't know about that law. And the police will tell you that ignorance is no excuse for violating the law, right? So,
absolutely. Yep. And if you just joined us, folks, we're talking with attorney Milly Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program, family law. She does litigation, personal injury law as well, and she's given us an update on some of these new laws that we're seeing come out of the Florida legislature. Milly, what else are you seeing?
Well, those are the main ones that I've seen for October 1st that I thought were kind of noteworthy that we wanted to go over. The only other one that was interesting is there's an upgraded penalties for any violence against police animals. So if, there's some people that engage in harmful acts towards police animals, and they've now upgraded that. So it's not just if you hurt an officer of the law. They're considering, an animal that's affiliated with the police department to also be at that level. So there's upgraded penalties for that. So,
Yep.
I kind of citizen beware, right? And so,
exactly. Yep.
But as I said before, I'm very excited about these new changes that have evolved regarding minor children. It's long time that we do that, and I'm so happy about allowing these victims to be able to bring civil lawsuits against the perpetrators.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one, I think, and I love how we're just setting the tone as a nation, as leading the nation in a lot of these laws and a lot of these statutes, these enhanced penalties for, law and order. That's what we stand for in the state of Florida, and the constitutional carry now that we have. I mean, the ability to protect yourself, the stand your ground law. There's a lot of good laws that are good, in the books to protect us. And it's almost polar opposite of a state like California, who's actually going the other way. California has moved to change the wording around pedophilia. They actually call it a minor attracted persons in some areas. So it's just an unbelievable night and day difference between state of Florida and California.
Yeah, they're definitely not in Florida a minor attractive person. They're considered completely off limits, and if you do so, you can get the maximum penalty in our state now. So it's really, as I said, they're taking it seriously. And I think Governor DeSantis used the exact term that he wanted to make this a law and order state. So
exactly.
I'm thrilled that he's doing that to protect the children, because they're innocent victims. They obviously are not savvy in the ways of the world. And, these people are just taking advantage of children left and right.
Yeah, and it goes to show, too, Florida had number one in net migration last year, 319,000 in migration. California dead last, 454,000 out migration, people leaving in droves. So, Milly, that's about our time for today.
Yes.
We want to get you back on, of course, to schedule the next one so we can have a longer segment. But Milly Athanason, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. I believe the phone number, if I recall, is 833-ASK-MILLY. Is that right?
That is correct, or 727-376-9100.
Okay, 833-ASK-MILLY. And online at, where's the website, Milly?
It's www.athanasonlaw.com.
Athanasonlaw.com. Check her out online, and always a pleasure catching up with you, Milly.
Thank you. Take care, and happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise. Thank you very much. All right, quick break. Coming back, Mark Hay, financial advisor extraordinaire, here in studio on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And